And I'm co-host Scott. Chapter 21 is Nullstone Restraints. So where we left off, Gray, Soren, Nini are going to meet Gray and Soren's dad. But when they get onto the boat, it's a hostage situation. Unfortunately, there is a gun to their dad's head. The assailants, I'll call them, are looking to get the soul fragment back. And they have these very specific revolvers, which are made for Magicrosses, which we saw in the Frith Chronicles. They're essential magical duels, so they pack a little bit of an extra punch because they're made to break through magical barriers or increase defenses or any trinket magic that someone might have on them. Gray does ask these people if they are more cultists that are following Deimos, but we find out they're actually not. They're actually loyal to Deathlord Naiad. And Gray is placed in Nullstone shackles, so rendering him and his bond to Twain, so no more connection there, no more magic that he can connect to. We do also find out that the head lady is a marine arcanist, which is this really ugly water creature thing. Pretty gross all around is kind of the vibe I got from it. Yeah, kind of like that. There's a few ugly water creatures out there because there's the one that you have to like sacrifice your like child to that's supposed to be really ugly as well. Yeah, kind of, not the little the little scarab. He's so ugly. And we end the chapter with just a lovely pistol whip and blackout.
Well, getting pistol whipped in chapter 22, No Choose. Gray wakes up in a dreamscape with Deimos. Gray begins to just panic. Understandably so. You just got pistol whipped to be knocked out. Like, okay. So he kind of goes off and is in panic mode, and Deathlord Deimos says, "You've never sounded more childish. You can't pick your battles. You can only decide how you will handle them." I really like this quote. And damn it, Shammy, you are way more wise beyond your years than you let on. Because this is one of those moments where I have the fourth wall break of, holy shit, she wrote this. Like, I'm not just watching a movie or something. It's not just playing in my head. She sat down and wrote this. So, again, kudos, Shammy, kudos. Gray must have forgotten that Vivi is around his neck because he wakes up and he's trying to figure out like any kind of weapon that he can use. And he had decided when he was still in the dreamscape that he'll relinquish his control over his body and let Deimos take over to get them out of the situation. And these are where like all of my bells and whistles are flashing off. All the red lights are going, it's a trap. Don't do it. But which is the lesser of two evils at this moment? You die and your friends die too, or your family die too, or do you die knowing that you've done your best? So he did make Deimos promise to not hurt any of his family or friends basically from here on out. The cultists for Deathlord Naiad are using Gray to locate 8 fragments, and Gray knows about Deathlord Naiad because of Deimos. He's getting his like intel on it. She's the first Death Lord, so we're gonna learn a little bit more about it in the next chapter.
Chapter 23, I tried to warn you. Gray is shot with a pistol. Luckily, Deimos is able to call on the souls that are grafted onto his dragon, so he consumes the soul to heal the bullet wound. And then there's this funny moment where Deimos is essentially like, what was that? And you realize he's never fought a gun before, so he has no idea what just happened. He's like, what kind of bow and arrow is this? Like, this is wild. Fortunately, that doesn't really make much of a difference once he has Vivi. He kind of just runs around and wreaks havoc, so kills the lady, runs over to Soren. Soren knows right away that, like, yo, this is not Gray, so we got to be kind of careful. But we're just changing Vivi into kind of a variety of weapons, freeing everybody, running around, killing the ugly little water creature thing, freeing his parents. Everyone's kind of free and good to go. And Deimos is like, yeah, that's how I do battle.
And in chapter 24, Reaper Chain, Soren and Nini know that Deimos has some kind of hold on Gray. Deimos does hold Reapers in higher regard as they are the agents of the Abyssal Hells. And then Jinkies, let's split up gang and find the other followers of the cultist Naiad. Twain turns into a nightmare, and now Gray has 3 voices in his head at once because we have Deimos, Twain, and Gray's own voice. Because Twain is a Reaper, or a Nightmare Arcanist. They can talk telepathically. One of the fun things that Gray realizes about Abyssal Dragons and their magic is that he can sense people's life energy, specifically when it's getting on the lower end and they're about to die. And he can also sense how healthy somebody is. And I would think that would make a very good doctor, like family doctor. Nothing like ER or specialty, but just your regular run-of-the-mill family doctor.
Just walks in, he's like, oh, I'm gonna see you in the Abyssal Hells soon. Just walks back out.
You have been eating too many sweets and you need to cut back on the sugar right now. If Deimos wanted to really have Gray kill the Sellsword, he shouldn't have mentioned that torturing his soul later on was on the table. Like, because Gray's almost about to accept it when he caught up to the Sellsword, but then again, Deimos is like, no, I'm just going to torture his soul. I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. There's hundreds of other mercenary groups out there. This ain't going to make a difference. We get back to the ship, and Nini has we got back to the ship, and we find out that Nini has gotten 4 more confirmed kills. 3 of them have been creatures from the Abyssal Hells itself, and 1 is an Arcanist from the ship, Vinnie Calcos, and she has her name on a golden chain link on Waste's chain.
Chapter 25, back to the academy. So Nini didn't mean to kill Vinnie, it just kind of happened. Deimos doesn't really have any sympathy. He's like, this is how you get stronger. Like, I don't really understand why you have a thing against killing. Like, it was kind of for the better, and now you're stronger, and now you can go conquer the world. Soren doesn't really trust that he's gonna go free everyone, so Gray has to kind of talk to him. He's like, hey, I'm in control, I've got this, like, I can go handle it, I'm gonna go free our father. When he gets there, there's this moment where, you know, we know Deimos really hated his father, so those emotions start to almost overflow through Gray. So Gray has to fight this, like, oh, I suddenly want to kill my father, because that's what Deimos did. Luckily, he is able to power through it, and he does have this heart-to-heart apology with his dad. They make up, everything's good to go, and they make their way back to the academy. But as they're going back, Nini is kind of constantly worried that everybody's going to be like, hey, the Reaper girl's got 4 more chains. Should we be concerned? So she's trying to figure out how she can hide this.
You know, if I was her, I would be like, look at this. I got 4 more chains. You want to mess with me now?
Do you want to be number 5?
Alas, that is our last chapter of this section of chapters 21 through 25. Next week, we'll be going into 26 through 30. And I think this is kind of like around that halfway point in this book series, in this book itself. So we're
breezing along.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, about the time that this gets released in February, in the first week of February there. We hopefully will have more updates on the bestiary. We will hopefully find out when we're getting our nickel and plushie. Ah. But we understand that Shammy has no control over that one, and she completed 6 books in 2025. Like, she published 6 books.
And a baby.
And a baby. Holy shit. Like, kudos to you, Shammy. Like, absolutely kudos.
I barely read 6 books.
Shoot, that's what I feel like. I think I might have actually physically read like 3 or 4. Anywho's, hopefully we'll have some updated information by that point. If we do get more before this, I will definitely put that out there, or make sure we send out more information. Scott, do you have anything else you'd like to add today?
No. All set.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week.